Oh wow, you just saved my life. Thank you for that. You saved me, Elite. I just forgot to unmute it. I muted it for a second. Yeah, how are you, Elite? What's been up, dude? What's new with you? How's the streams been? What you working on? Melvin says, I love the personality that you added. Thanks so much. Here's some of the other drawings we've done on stream recently. Oh, y'all, tell me what kind of art you do. If you have Discord, we have a Discord here. You can check out the community Discord. Share your art. There's a bunch of artists in the community there. They'll look at your art, give you feedback. Watch is approaching, kind of finished, Elite says. Oh, the trumpet is really good. Oh, thanks, Elite. Yeah, we did some, did anybody recognize this one? Yeah, we did some figure drawings the past few days, and we've been doing some faces today. Guitarist, whoa, bass player, pianos, a DJ. Let me get another page here. All right, another one. All right, y'all pay attention. Doing this two-handed. All right, y'all ready? Thank you, Elite. You can hear the microphone now, right? Melvin says, I love the art. So much charm in the imperfections. Thank you. What's up, Abby Lovely? How are you? Let's try again. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Some of the drawing, I think, happens in your imagination. I wonder if, like everybody might not be seeing the face the same way. Sometimes I wonder, is everybody seeing the same scribbles as the same parts of the face? Or you think everybody sees something different, Who knows? I mean, I guess we could set up a test to see. Boom! What do we think? It's a pretty good start. Yeah, thanks for the compliment. Abby, how are you? How have you been? Are you an artist? Are you the same Abby that's here on the other streams, or are you a new Abby? We have an Abby in the community as well. Do all you Abbies know each other? Alright, so let's not be too critical of our drawing here and just let the lines come together. What do we think? Looks pretty good. Maybe it could come down here. Something like that's a little better. Love it. Alright. Hey Abby. Okay, so what do y'all think? You notice that I drew it with two hands this time? We'll smudge with our left hand, and then we'll do the details with our right. I'm using this eraser kind of like another piece of charcoal, but it's just erasing that where we did that smudging just to create another dimension. Another dimension. What's up, Paul Shee? You love my smile? My smile or the drawing? Either way, I'm taking it as a compliment. Thanks, Paul Shee. How are you today? Thanks for coming into the chat, and thanks for saying something kind. Nice of you. Very kind of you. Here's the deal, you can't see my face. So how can you possibly compliment with my smile? Y'all, please subscribe, like the stream for me, please. Trying to get to a number here. Trying to get eyes on the stream. I want people to see the art. I want other people to hang out with us. Give it a like, give it a sub. People come join us. Boom! Your smile. Okay, Paushy. Can get a long way in this community with all these compliments. Sweet boy. Oh, you're full already. I don't know what you're begging for. Here you go. Here we go. Here we go. Look at this guy. Here's a piece of art for you. 20 minutes. Alright, let's do another one, y'all. Let me see. Elite says, Lurk, gotta go talk to somebody. Thanks for hanging out, Elite. Guy is away doing something creative. See you, Elite. Alright, y'all ready to do another one? Two hands at one time. Gabriel saying is your name? If so, it's Epic. Thank you, Melvin. Your name is Epic too. Is it Melvin DeLeon? That's a really great name as well. Alright, you ready? What are we doing here? Alright. Tell you what, Melvin, you were a hard sell, but I earned your sub. Made me feel, you got me feeling accomplished. Like that? What do we think? We see in the face? Alright, let's, keep going. Why does it look like it kind of like that here? Like that. Right. Find our shadows. That. They're always in the same place. The way shadows work. That's the way physics works. It's predictable. It's predictable, right? Budge it around. Y'all see a face this time around? Hey, what's up, Lee Weatherford? You could draw like this. It just takes practice. I'm just smudging around. If you could do a figure drawing, I'll talk you through it. It's not tough. You could definitely do this. What's up, user? At the same time, it's so cool. Thanks, user. Give me a subscribe. Like the stream, please. Get some more people in the room. I'd appreciate it. He has a beard. Very cool. Yeah, some of the drawing it happens in your imagination. So like I appreciate you complimenting the drawing, but often like the way you see an image in the clouds, a lot of my drawing style is based on the fact that I hope at some point your imagination will take over and fill in some of the details so I don't have to. So you know, if you figure out just the least amount I can put on paper, and it still be the thing, whole goal here. And it's not about having a perfect drawing or it being perfect. You know, I think a lot of times we get stressed out trying to draw a perfect picture or trying to make everything look realistic, when maybe we should just ask ourselves if we're having fun doing it, you know? If you write your name 1,000 times over and over and over, you get so good at it that you kind of have fun writing your name. Kind of get excited when you get a chance to do your signature. And I think if you have fun drawing and the lines you draw with start to feel like writing your signature, you'll have a good time. And I think people will have fun looking at the art as well. Like a thing. And over time, I think the nonsense, just like your signature, starts off one way. Over time, it gets better, and it gets more fun to do, you know? Thanks, user. Thanks, Lee. Try drawing a lady at some point. Okay, we'll do a lady next, Melvin. User says love it. Thanks, user. And then I think we're done. I'm gonna do a lady next. If anybody has any other requests, I don't mind. Maybe we'll do some figure drawings. Or you want to see some details? What do you think what it looks like close up? Better or worse upon further close-ups? Skull, you want me to draw a skull? Is that a request, user? All right, you got to subscribe for a request, though. Melvin has subscribed. Melvin's the man for that. Or the woman, I don't know. I love the highlights you do. Yeah, I'll do a skull, user, but you got to subscribe. Thanks, user. All right, so Melvin wanted a woman, and then user wanted a skull. So that's what we'll do. We'll start with a feminine drawing, and then we'll do the skull for user. Thanks for communicating and chatting with me and making a request and subscribing. I appreciate that, user. I appreciate that, Melvin. Very cool. Melvin says, that's a great idea, user. Is it okay that I call you user? I can call you KG5. That's kind of fun. All right, so let's do some kind of effeminate face or by request. Look at these pencils. How sad. Look at that. Okay, all right. Okay, I think it's doable though. All right, y'all ready to hop into it again? All right. User, are you an artist, by the way? User KG5? Well, it's, you know, I appreciate you participating. You don't have to thank me. Well, thanks, and I'll thank you if I want to. It's my stream. Okay, here we go. This time we want it to be a woman. Okay, we can do that. What do we think? Is that a pretty good two-handed start there, guys and gals and non-binary pals? Sometimes I just like to seek beauty. Oh, I love that, user. That's a beautiful way to say it. Thank you for coming in here and saying something poetic. It's an art stream. You want to say something poetic? This is the community for you. All right, y'all, so we got this done. Let's do this side of the face with this hand. Okay, watch me. Okay. Well, this side of the face with this hand. The old switcheroony, huh? Something like that, maybe? See, the trick is to not... You gotta keep switching hands on them. I don't know which way we're coming at them. Okay, all right. Let's keep moving forward. Okay, alright, sorry. What are we thinking? Can we see her? Does it look like a woman? What do you think? Do we see a woman? Oh, look at the hearts we're getting. Thanks, Melvin. Very nice of you to say. Alright, let's keep going. We say I'm good, but we gotta do a skull next, so let's hope I don't biff it. Okay, alright. You say I'm good, but I'm telling you, so much of this drawing is taking place inside of your imagination. What's up, Amir? Thanks for joining the chat. You know, so if you're liking the drawing, it's almost like I'm cheating because, you know, you're imagining what the drawing looks like, so of course you like it. But you know, you don't always like it. Sometimes I put a picture together and it's not my favorite. But it's not even about it being my favorite, you know? Like I said earlier, it's about finding lines that are fun to draw, finding a process that's fulfilling, taking time to kind of just like express myself, get the stress off my chest if I'm having a bad day, you know? forget about whether the drawing is great or bad or, at some point, I don't think any of that matters. It's just how much fun are we having? And if we're having a good time and like kind of burning off some of the bad times we had earlier, then it's a beautiful drawing, Alright, let's add some highlights here. Yeah, so next time you're drawing, try not to focus on how perfect the drawing is or how beautiful it is or whether all the lines are in the right spot. Instead of demanding of yourself to draw the perfect picture, like demand yourself to draw a picture that you had fun drawing. Hey Libni Rosales, how are you? So yeah, I encourage you to try to do that. Instead of drawing a pretty picture, the perfect picture, draw the fun picture. It doesn't have to be pretty. Maybe you want it to be ugly, Maybe the exercise isn't about drawing. Maybe the exercise is about, hey, I had a bad day and I'm going to scribble for a second because it makes me feel better. And maybe that's the point of the art. And if that's the point of the art, who cares what it looks like? So think about that maybe when you're drawing next time, Not about how great the drawing is, how perfect the drawing is, but like, do you feel better now that you've done the drawing? Do you feel better after doing the drawing? Are you having fun while you're doing the drawing? Because there's so much time where like we put pressure on ourselves, to do the perfect drawing. And I feel like sometimes that pressure, it can rob you of the fun, where it's like, forget that. Not only that, but like I'm drawing with two hands, but like what if we held the pencil in our weak hand and we held it in an awkward way, okay? And then do the drawing that way. I think it's fun. It's a challenge. And if the drawing looks bad, I'm not gonna be mad at myself because I drew it with my left hand holding it with my pinky, Like don't be concerned with how beautiful the drawing is. Don't be concerned with everything being in the right place. Just have a nice time. Have fun. Play, Just play a little bit. Melvin says, I miss having fun with art. Hey, what's up, Random Child? Welcome to the chat. Random Child says, I love this. As an artist, it really helps me see another perspective. Well, that's great, Random Child. I'm glad that you're an artist. I'm glad this helps. Humans are meant to create. You're right, User KG. There's magic in the world everywhere. And it only reveals itself to us through art, through photography, through storytelling, through movies, through books, through drawings, through paintings. That's when you know magic is true, because you can scribble something and you can have somebody feel something, or like I could feel something and put it into my drawing, and there's a way to take negativity that you might deal with in your everyday life, and negativity comes from everywhere in your life. It could come from school or from your parents or from your significant other. You can have conflicts with yourself. A lot of times, you just wake up in a bad mood, or maybe you're sick, mentally or physically, or, there's a lot of times where our body or our mind, life is tough sometimes. And there's a way to take that negativity that you have and a lot of those battles and those conflicts, and there's a healthy way to transform all that negativity into something positive. And that's what art can do. You can take all these negative feelings, you can take these bad days at school, or these bad days with your family, or bad days at work, bad days with your girlfriend or your guy friend or your significant other, and instead of feeling like you have to take that out on someone, or take it out on a community, or take it out on anything, I want you to remember that you can turn it around and you can take it out on a sheet of paper. You could have a bad day and go draw about it. You can have a bad day and write a story about it. You can have a bad day and take some pictures about it. You can have a bad day and go play a game about it. You can have a bad day and go jog, And I just want to remind you that when you sit down to make art, don't always focus on the fact that you have to make something perfect. Focus on the fact that sitting down to draw, sitting down to make art, sitting down to be creative in general is a superpower. You know, you can take something negative and transform it into something positive. And that's magic. That's magical, you know? And if you can start to harness that and share that with other people and encourage them to express themselves in healthy ways, you know, everybody will be so inspired by what you do, and you'll become a better person and a better artist. So think about something like that when you're drawing. Instead of just drawing something beautiful, uh think about self-expression, you know, and don't worry about what the picture looks like. Worry about how you feel while you're making it, you know. All right, I forgot. We got a skull request. This may be the last drawing of the stream. We might do an after party on Twitch. What's up? What's up, Victor Craze? Thanks for joining the stream. We'll do one more. Everybody in the chat, if you're hanging, Victor, are you an artist? Yeah, let's do this skull real quick. Be sure, I know you have Melvin, but I just want to remind everybody, be sure you like the stream and subscribe. I don't want to hit this stream again and not see y'all. We've kind of grown some relationships here. User, we're friends now. KG5, Melvin. We go way back. I want to see y'all here on my streams again. I appreciate y'all hanging out and making requests and chatting with me. It makes a difference, you know? I appreciate it. I don't know if you've ever streamed or made art or performed as an artist or a musician or just in general getting up in front of it, but like having people there to interact with you and chatting back and giving you input is great. I sure appreciate it. Added to my list right after the guy with the telescope. Are we talking about Elite? Plays chill music and we look at planets. Oh, that sounds cool. Link, I don't mind if you put a link in the chat. Okay, y'all, this is the request for a skull. And then I think we might get out of here. Okay, let's see what we got. I'm trying to find a good picture that I like that doesn't feel too obvious. All right, this could be fun. All right, can we get through without sharpening? Let's give it a shot. Y'all ready? Okay, alright, okay. That's not fair. Can you already see it? How often do you do lives? I'd like to watch more. I do about 3 or 4 a week. Random Child. Shout out to you too, I forgot. You and I have also become friends. Have you subscribed, Random Child? Please give us a subscribe. Again, if you're an artist and you have Discord, we have a Discord that this community follows, and if you want to hop in that Discord and like share your art with us there, that'd be super cool. And it doesn't have to be visual art. You could be a photographer or a musician. You could be a journalist. You could just have a YouTube channel that's gaming. Whatever. Any kind of creative outlets work, I think. What do we think? How are we doing here? All right, good enough, right? I'm not judging the drawing. Again, the question is, am I having fun? And the answer is yes, I am having fun. And that's what's important. I can kind of see a skull here. You know what would be fun is if I could imply maybe that we have like the rest of the skull down here. Oh, I dropped my charcoal pencil. That's one thing they don't tell you. When you drop your charcoal pencil, they never sharpen. All right, so but y'all see what I did is when I drew this picture, I didn't judge myself. Right? I didn't really get concerned about proportions or where the lines are or anything. Y'all saw me draw it where it's just I'm not being judgmental towards myself. You know, there's so many scenarios in life that you're going to be judgmental to yourself. And there's also like parts of life that you take too seriously that you shouldn't. And there's parts of life that maybe you should take seriously that you're not. I think maybe through doing a little bit of reminding yourself that you can make art and draw lines and scribble, and it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to look great. And then over time you realize, well, if these lines don't matter, which lines do matter? And do any of the lines matter at all? And I think like you start to practice learning to kind of let things slide. You know, every line doesn't matter, just like every situation doesn't matter, you know? And you can learn what doesn't matter. You don't have to take everything so seriously, you know, and there's so many things in your life that you have to take seriously. Art doesn't have to be one of them, and while you're making art, you can learn how to kind of let things slide. Like if while you're making art you learn not to like control your art so much as just, like I said, have a good time. So much of your life you can't control everything, and you have to be comfortable in a world day to day where you don't have all the control, and if you start practicing in your artwork where you get comfortable not having control, you get comfortable kind of working in a realm where I'm using my left hand, or I'm working fast, or I'm knowing when to be critical and not. I think that you can become a better person over time by becoming a better artist. And I don't think any of that kind of process, none of that has anything to do with how great the art looks. You can get on AI and make some beautifully generated pictures, but I think the process of drawing the lines, the process of of not caring and practicing and learning what's important and not important through your drawing, that's what's important in a drawing. I think, having AI do your art is like having a robot go jogging for you. Like, you're not going to get in shape if a robot's doing the exercise. Like, you have to put the work in, and over time you get the payoff. And I think we forget, and a lot of times we think that the end product of art is a pretty picture, but it's not. Hey, what's up, Lily? What's up, Meteor? What's up, Void? User digging it for real random. Yeah, charcoal sharpening is a pain. Oh gosh, so much. That looks sick, dude. Thanks, Meteor. Be sure and like the stream and subscribe, please. Lily found us again, user KG. I want to plug the YouTube channel because it's so worth looking into. See the skies? Yeah, dude, post a link. I don't care. All right, so let's find the highlights here. But I want y'all to keep that in mind next time you start making art. I'm not saying stop making realistic art or stop making art that you focus on or that you take your time on. You can do that, but I just want to remind you that not all art is that. Some art is just meant to be fun. Some art is meant to be a way for you to get a bad day off your chest. Sometimes art is a way for you to express your anxiousness in a way that allows you to turn negative feelings into positive feelings. And I think that's basically like it's basically being a superhero, and we forget that as humans, we have that superpower where we can take something that feels negative and make art, and all of a sudden that negativity has now become positivity. And I think sometimes we forget that, and we want to get to an end product. We want a pretty picture to share on the internet. And I think sometimes when you're making art and you're not focusing on how pretty it is or how great the end product is, it allows you to spend time with yourself. And not only does the art get better, but you can become better as a person. And I think that's important. I think that's important. So, like, you know, sometimes it's time to make the perfect drawing. But sometimes it's time to just have a nice time. And I think that charm and talent is knowing when to take something seriously and when to let something slide. And I think that's not just in art, but just like in all parts of your life. Like finding the parts that you can just like slide. And I want to remind you, like, if you're having a bad day, if you're dealing with some kind of conflict or drama in your life, like personally or professionally, with school or your loved ones or your family, whatever it is, I just want to remind you that you can draw a picture about those terrible feelings or that terrible day. You can take it out on a story. You can take it out on a painting. But I want you to remember that you don't take it out on your friends. You don't have to take it out on your family. You don't have to take it out on your loved ones. You don't have to take it out on the drywall. you know, and most importantly, don't take it out on yourself. Don't take it out on yourself. Don't take it out on yourself. Take it out on art. Take all those feelings, all that stuff you deal with every day, and just scribble on a sheet of paper. Go write a song about it. Write a poem about it. Write a story about it. But don't forget that you have this superpower. And it doesn't have to be pretty. It can be ugly. And when you're done with the picture, throw it away. Turn the page. Let it go. It doesn't have to be a pretty picture. You're making art sometimes because you're expressing yourself. And there's so much about art that is self-expression. And it's not about making pretty pictures. And we forget that so much. So much of our time is to make that pretty picture, to make and it's a metaphor too. It's not just drawings, just life in general. Like there's so much pressure on ourselves to do everything right, do everything perfect, and judge ourselves every step of the way. Where sometimes, you know, it's better off and it's healthier to just kind of go with the flow, you know? Let go of control. Let your creative instincts kind of take over. You know, you don't have to control everything all the time. And when you might start to realize by giving up a little bit of control that maybe you find out other amazing things about yourself. You find out other amazing things about your art. And you find out other amazing things about life and about being a human in general. And I think that starts with not controlling everything and not, you know, and it's a good way to discover who you are through art and self-expression. And you can go through this tired journey of self-expression and art and never draw one single pretty picture for an audience to look at. So much of the work might just be internal therapy, like work that you're doing just to impress yourself. You know, it's like it doesn't matter what this piece looks like. No one has to see it except for me. And the reason I'm doing it is because I need some time to myself. I need to meditate. I need to take a second to give myself some grace. Take a second to give myself some time to digest a situation I just dealt with. So remember that. If you need a second to breathe or things get overwhelming, stop and draw a picture about it. Write a story about it. There's your skull. Thanks for the request. All right, sorry, chat. I needed to hear this today. Thank you. Well, I'm glad, random child. User says, amazing. Thank you. Hit the jackpot with this live. Took me out of my mindless scrolling. Well, thanks for saying that, Melvin. On the drywall. Can you make a Japanese cherry blossom? Yeah, I probably can. Loves 11. Did you subscribe and like the stream? I'll be more likely to take your request if you've subscribed and liked the stream. Mindless scrolling user. Okay, we want to do a Japanese cherry blossom. Well, you have to like and subscribe first. And oh, we've only got one sheet of paper left. One sheet of paper left. What do we think? Do y'all want to put some requests in the last sheet of paper? Do you have subscribed? Let me see if I have a second. Let me see if I have a another sketchbook around here. I do appreciate the request because it sounds to me like I used to do ink work often that has a similar like style as like some of the ink blossom type drawings. So I can kind of see a similarity there. Please, I love Japan. Japanese, I love Japan. See you, user. You got a name, by the way. Thanks for hanging out, user. It was really nice to meet you. Thanks for chatting and hanging out with me. I appreciate the requests, interactions. Really nice. I don't have any more sketch, but a smaller one maybe? I have a smaller one. Alright, so this will be the last sketch of the day. Actually, what do y'all want? Do y'all want to see a cherry blossom? Jay. Nice to meet you, Jay. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, we'll do a cherry blossom. Let's do a cherry blossom and then we'll get out of here. Should be decently easy, right? Alright, so let's see what the best way to do this is. What's up, Painted Clown? Welcome to the chat. Be sure and subscribe. Okay, so I've never drawn these before, so let's see best we can do. Alright, something like that. Alright. So I've never really done this before, so y'all have to bear with me. Alright, so the request was for cherry blossoms. I'm not sure I know a lot about cherry blossoms, but it's alright. We're gonna figure it out, aren't we? And again, like, I'm not trying to judge whether the drawing is any good or not right now. Like, I'm just making sure that the lines that I'm putting down are kind of fun, you know? And I think that's important too. You know, we talked about the importance of like drawing lines that are fun for you. So perhaps that'll make them fun for a viewer. Because, you know, you can have the most perfect drawing, but maybe it's no fun, you know? Like maybe trying to find the fun again can be another part of your art. And maybe like, you know, if you're a serious artist and you're a graphic designer or a novelist, you don't have to put this necessarily into your work every time. Sometimes just a little exercise to remind yourself that you were once a little kid that could scribble on a piece of paper and have the time of your life. So like try it again. And if it doesn't look bad, who cares? What's up, Law Lyot? What's up, Painted Clown? Y'all be sure to follow, like, and subscribe. Whatever medium you're on. We're also restreaming horizontally. We're on Twitch and on YouTube. So if you're interested in seeing it in a different format, there's a horizontal stream. Okay, alright. So I feel like this needs to be dark in some places. Real dark. Imply that's dim, right? Like that. Okay, alright. And then here's the heartbreaking part. What do we think? How's it looking, y'all? Pretty good start? Thank you. You don't know how much it means to me. Well, I'm glad, Loves 11. Hey, Adelie Jones. How are you? Hey, Painted Clown. Hey, Law. Hey, Adelie. Hey, Love. How are y'all doing? Are you an artist? If you're an artist, tell me what kind of art do you make? And I want you to notice that, like, you know, I'm trying to work real stress-free. I'm not trying to be overly concerned with how great the drawing is or if everything is in the just the right place. Like, it's an exercise in restraint and relax and meditation and like learning to let some of it go. You know, it's okay if it doesn't come out perfectly. You know, it's fine. It's okay. It's nice to remind yourself that that's all right. It's totally okay. It's art, you know. We train ourselves to do everything so critically that like when it comes to art, we forget that that being critical of yourself is not an important part of art. You don't have to do that to yourself at all, ever. You know, there's so many other situations in life where maybe you need to like really dig in and be critical of yourself. And I think that's important, but also reminding yourself that there's areas to just let go and relax, and you don't have to control it, and you can go on along for the ride. And also reminding yourself that you can cultivate those activities. Like, I decided to draw, I decided to hop on stream, I decided to be an artist. But even though I'm deciding to draw, I'm also deciding to take it easy on myself. You know, I'm also deciding that it's okay to make a mistake. It's okay for the drawing not to be perfect, you know? So it's easy to force yourself to draw the perfect thing, but it takes dedication and time to give yourself some grace, you know? So give yourself some grace. Don't forget that. You deserve it, you know? When you have all that weight on your back, you start to get stressed out, you know, and sometimes it's school, sometimes it's your job, you know, sometimes it's work. And even the best days and the easiest life, it gets tough sometimes, you know. And if you're an artist or you have big emotions, like even easy days can get tough. Like even not having a bad day, but you're just having an overwhelming day, you know. Painted Clown says, I love the way you think about your art. Thanks, Painted Clown. You know, and it's not just art. It can spill over into your life too, you know? Like practicing your art, practicing to meditate, practicing to have fun, and giving your permission to like have grace with yourself. And remember, like, there's so much fun in doing your thing without worrying about it. Like, think about when you first start writing your signature. You know, like you write your name over and over and over again till it's perfect, and you can write it real fast, and it starts to take on a life of its own. And then it gets to the point where you love to write your signature. And anytime someone asks you to write your signature, it's like you can't wait to do it, you know? And then once you've written your signature, it's like there's no pressure in writing your signature. It's fun when somebody's like, hey, can you sign this? Or when it's time to write your name, it's no stress. It's exciting. It's fun. And I think if you approach art the same way, that when it comes time to make the art, it can feel much like writing your name, where it's not stressful. It's just fun, relaxing, as making lines on a sheet of paper. What do we think, y'all? Does this look like blossoms? Did we get there? Looks like the hand of a beautiful forest creature. Oh, that's a lovely interpretation. I'm an artist. I draw cartoons. Very stylized. Oh, I love that. I love charcoal drawing. That's cool, Painted Clown. Welcome to the community. Be sure and like the stream and subscribe. Yes, one of my real-time pictures is going to state because it won. Oh, congratulations, Adelie. That's awesome. If you have a Discord, we have a Discord you can join and share your art. Love says, I'm 11 through a dark time in my life right now, and it's just, I love Japan, and it's one thing that makes me happy. I love the way you think about art. Thanks, Painted Clown. Thank you for opening up, loves. Ivy. Hi, Ivy Fruit. Thank you for saying hi. It looks like a person. I love it. Thank you so much. And if you're loves, if you're dealing with a tough time right now, I love you. I'm proud of you. You got this. You can do this. And when it gets overwhelming, go draw. Write a story. Paint a picture. You can do this. I'm proud of you. I see you. I recognize what you're dealing with. And I'm reminding you that you have the strength to get through it. And you have the tools to do it. Proud of you. Person made of branches and flowers, yes. Well, thanks, Clown. You know what we'll do? Because my sketchbooks are full, y'all want to just look through some of them? We'll go through a couple of sketchbooks here, and then I gotta get out of here. Thank you, love. I'm proud of you for expressing your feelings. I'm proud of you for expressing yourself here. Be sure and like the stream and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Helps me get the art and the message out. It's not all about pretty pictures, you know? It's about self-expression, taking negative energy and turning it into something positive. You know, being reminded about what's important and what's not. Reminded that you don't have to control everything for it to turn out something very thoughtful and beautiful. Sometimes your job is to let the world unfold under your hand. You know, you don't have to control everything. You don't have to draw the perfect picture. You don't have to be the perfect person. You don't have to make the perfect choices. Just keep making choices. Keep getting to the next day. That's all that matters. Keep having a good time, you know? And again, it's important. You don't take it out on your family. Don't take it out on your friends. Don't take it out on the drywall. Don't take it out on yourself. Don't take it out on yourself. Don't take it out on yourself. Take it out on your artwork. Take it out on poem. Take it out on a story. Take it out on a drawing. Take it out on a song. Take it out on a movie, you know? It's a healthy, amazing talent that you're graced with as a human being. And don't forget, it doesn't have to be beautiful. I encourage you to draw something bad, draw something ugly, and then when you're done with it, throw it away if you have to remind yourself that it's about expression and not a pretty picture. And then our beautiful, delicate cherry blossoms to finish off the sketchbook. All right, yeah, that's an entire sketchbook right there. All right, here's another sketchbook. Y'all ready? I appreciate y'all hanging out and talking with me, expressing yourselves. It's important to talk about things like this. It's important to support art. It's important to support the artist inside of yourself. Thanks for being here, y'all. Be sure and like and subscribe. We'll be back soon. Just gonna go through the rest of this sketchbook and then I'm gonna get out of here. Hungry. All right, my guys. My gals, my non-binary pals, I love you. I'm proud of you. You're becoming better artists and better people every day. Keep doing that. Keep getting better. That's all we can do. God, there's so many of them. All right, I gotta stop. All right, y'all. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking the stream. We'll see you next time. Painted Clown, Loves, Ivy Fruit, Adelie, Law, User, my God, Jay, User J, Melvin, Random Child, Lily Not Yours, Meteor, Void. Man, we had a bunch of fun people here today. Random Child. Okay, I hope everybody subscribed, liked the stream. It was a good time chatting with y'all. Lovely time. Gets better every time. See you next stream. We'll stream about the same time as often as possible. Oh, what's up, Sunlip? Oh, I'm just finishing the stream. We've been streaming for 70 minutes. But it's nice to see you again, Sunlip. We had a good stream. I'm gonna stop streaming right now, but the stream will be here. And we'll stream again soon. Remember, Sunlip, take it out on art. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you making it just in time to say hi. All right, we'll see you next time. Take care of yourself. All right, go same thing for the crew here. I know y'all get mad probably because I'm restreaming, but yo, we gotta do it. Take it out on Art. Love you. I'm proud of you. Keep it up. Take it out on Art. We'll see you next time.